So a couple of months ago, I went to see my aunt in Finland. The trip herself was really great and all, but during the trip, I felt something. Of course, gone smaller by the cold weather, but it wasn't that. Something was following me everywhere I go. And I saw this. Who are you? Oh, this is Moomy.
What?
Yeah. So apparently there is a character called Moomin that is really famous in Finland and most of the north of Europe. Dude, I am telling you, this thing wasn't everywhere. In the streets, Moomin shops, and house, Moomin decorations. On the freaking airport, mother freaking bags. Like, this dude was the main character of Finland herself. And you know what's funny? I didn't even know that he existed. So I'm like, okay, I'm pretty dumb, so it's kind of normal that this thing will happen to me. But then I got back to my country. I asked about some people, and none of them knew what Moomin was. Since I didn't know anything about this fella, I decided to go to the famous web to search up some small things about him. And I kind of fell into a rabbit hole of content. Moomin was created in 1945. Yes, I know, at the end of World War II. By the author Tove Jansson. The author did this to distract herself from the horrors of the war caused by the war. And yeah, that stuff. That's a lot of. Moomin world was actually quite big, with tons of characters. The main character being the one and only Moomin. Now, look at this. What do you see? A hippo? A cow? Your mom! It's a confusing character, but after looking up what Moomin was, I actually surprised. Moomin is a freaking troll! I even lie about his name. It's not Moomin, it's Moomin Troll. How on earth would somebody look at this and think, I think that's a troll. It's cute and round like a freaking albino cow. But you wanna know what's the worst thing? That's not the weirdest thing that I found on the research. There is more weird stuff. Going back to the list of characters, there is Moomin Papa and Moomin Mama, which are the most stereotypical dads that I've ever seen. Guess what? They are parents of a Moomin girl. There is also Stumpkin, who is Moomin best friends and kinda look like a type of European link to me. There is Little Mine, which is a diabolical creature. Like, I get it, it's a child, but look at those devil eyes! Oh god! There is Sniff, who is the most introvert in the group and looks like a kangaroo. Mendley, who is the mother of Little Mine and is even more terrifying than Little Mine. Snork, which I'm gonna say one word and one word only. Nerd! Snork Maiden, which is the little sister of the nerd. Joe Tiki, which I have no idea what his details are, but it kinda looks like me, so I like him. The Groke, which is a big guy who is probably the villain in the story. And it's Stinky. I have no clue on what is him, but I feel like it's better to just acknowledge him in this universe. Also, my favorite character from all of these is Headyfetters. They're all these little worms, but I think everybody in the Moomin universe is afraid of them because they're kind of like ghosts. So, I love it! All of them live in the Moomin Valley, where they have a lot of quirky adventures. Also, fun fact, most of characters in Moomin Valley were a representation of the author's family. Aww. Going back a little bit to the informal side. Tove Jansson has a partner which name was Tuulikki Pietilä, and I'm way sorry if I'm saying this name wrong. Tu and Jansson were good buddies. Even so, there were many pictures of Little Mine and Moomin Troll, because they represent there. Little Mine being Tu and Moomin being Tove. The first appearance of Moomin was in 47 in the kids session of Swedish Journal. But later in 954, they appeared in the Evening's News Journal in London. The comics were nothing that special, it was like Peanuts or Calvin. But since Moomin kinda exploding between these people, turning himself into a well-known character around the area. Even so, in 980, they turned Moomin into a puppet animation, and the Moomins became very popular in London. Moomin, in the year 990, also had an anime, kind of like Kirby style. And while I was researching, I found this image. and with this written below the image. Jason was known to have a very negative attitudes towards the controversial content of the series. Just gonna let this out of my system. Moomin was also famous because of his songs. Between the 60s and the 70s, the composer Erna Tower composed many songs, being the most famous Moomin Stroll songs and Little My song. Unfortunately, in 93, Taro died. Fun fact, in 74, Wozaki designed a whole freaking opera of all the Moomin songs. And I'm flabbergasted by hearing this. Like, I can see a Pokemon or Disney opera because they are really famous, but Moomin having a whole opera in Europe and I, a dumb white guy who doesn't even know they exist, is just stunning. They also produced many plays in many theaters. The first play was in 49, Comet and Moominland, performed at the Absurd Svenken Theater, and the most recent play that I could find was in 2011, which I couldn't find the name of. Fun fact, Tove Jansson actually participated in these acts, and I think that's a really fun thing of her. And now, we got to the good part, the Moomin video games. The first game of the Moomin was in 97, created by Norsk Ace A. It was the Moomins and the Haglundsen Hat, and it was launched on the PC, which I didn't find any image from, so in my theory, it was banned from the internet somehow. In the year 2000, Moomin Tale was launched by the game Color. The game is based on the 90s TV series. The main protagonist, Moomin Troll, has to go to 6 quarters of the land, kinda like most of Mario games. In 2009, Japan launched 2 games for the DS, which I only could find one that is called Moomin Tani no Okuri Mono, and it was exclusive to Japan only, so in that way I don't have a lot of information about it. And the most recent game that I could find is Snufkin, Melody of Moomin Valley, which, look at this graphics, I might myself play it, I don't know, maybe. The game was announced in 2021 and only launched in 2024. You all people saying that Cyberpunk took a long time? What, me and the boys are waiting for the new Moomin game. Let's go! Woo! The game is on Switch or Steam, so if you're really bored, go play it. And that's all I got from a quick research from Wikipedia. Can you believe it? I can. It's really amazing that there were hidden characters around the world that are so popular and that some people didn't even know that they existed. I never read or watched Moomin. The only thing I have is this mug that I bought from Finland, so I don't think I have so much opinion on this type of character. Like, Moomin was so famous that Walt Disney was like, "Hey dude, you wanna do some business for this little fella?" No. Get out. What the f***? So I really hope that you enjoyed the video and have a good day. Oh yeah, Moomin also have 2 whole theme parks just for him.